Hi, my name is Winsley, and welcome to this week's Beginner's Guide. We're going to be looking at the Voidbringers in detail today, and next week I would like to talk about the NPC faction. I generally like to post one Age of Wonders Planetfall uh, guide per week on Tuesdays at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you're really into this game, I'd like to invite you to join me for those upcoming videos. I've got a pretty big backlog of guides. I've gone through all of the NPC factions that were in the game before the Invasions DLC. So if you want to go back and watch all of those, I think that information is incredibly helpful, even for experienced players who maybe haven't played around with all of the NPC factions. So yeah, let's see. We're going to be talking about a couple things today. We're going to be talking about the operations you get when you work with the Voidbringers, the units, um, the mod. I think there's only one mod that you can get, and yeah, that's the goal for today. Okay, so I had my Voidbringers invade as early as possible. I had them invade at turn 40. I know you can set it to early, which is considered turn 55, um, normal or medium, and then late or latest. And I think every jump is a 15 turn jump between when you can start seeing the Voidbringers. And from what I saw on these units, they're pretty scary, but I think by turn 40, if you know how to build your stacks and mod out your units, you shouldn't have too many issues dealing with these guys, especially since the majority of their units will be dealing psychic damage. They are very unique in that they have this fun little enthralled mechanic. If I go over to my game, I'll just click on an enthralled person. So this guy has been enthralled. So he does psychic damage. Let's go to one that doesn't. This guy, he does non-psychic damage. He's enthralled, and that means that he will do plus 30% extra damage on all of his attacks. Anything that deals damage will do a little bit more, but he has to be in a stack with a Voidbringer. I think if there's no Voidbringers in its army, then it dies, but I did take this guy, split him off, and this guy split him off away from this dude, and it didn't quite work as the description reads. And I think there may be some bugs around the Voidbringers or some incomplete things, and that is why they didn't really show them off on stream. But I would expect this guy to disappear in future patches if he's not in a stack with another with a Voidbringer like this guy, the Naga. Then I think he goes away. When you decide to work with them, you get access to two operations, the call spawner and call Voidbringer thing. And I've already used in called Voidbringer to bring in these three units. They start off as a stack like this. And I'm going to call in more like so, right here. And I actually got very similar units. We got another one of those Naga thingies, tier 2 thing. And yeah, if I wanted to call in a spawner, I can do that right now. Excellent. Where do we want it? How about there? That seems fine. Let's concentrate around where we already have stuff. I think that would probably work out okay. I didn't place this spawner. That was the AI, so you don't have to place all these spawners. I think to get through this field, people have to kill the spawners, so if you're working with the thingies, you're probably going to want to drop down spawners as much as humanly possible. This will make more of the Voidbringer units and enthralled and send them out into the world to attack people. So you know, it's cool having control of your own ones. You can work them in with your commanders, but I think this might be a better investment if you're just trying to take over the planet quickly. It depends if you're playing against human players or not. And yeah, that's jump on over to here. I think we'll go through the units by clicking on them like so. I would have loved to have built a stack with all of the different units and then have gone into a battle to demonstrate how the actual skills work in battle, but this guy's supposed to evolve, and when I tried to get him to evolve, it crashed the game. It doesn't say what he evolves into, so I think that may be some missing code. This dude is not one that evolves. There's gonna be one around here that has the evolution thing. Yeah, metamorphosis here's not saying it's gonna evolve into anything, but I think if I click on you, I know your metamorphosis works, and it does say that he turns into a siren. So I think there's some missing code in the Voidbringers stuff for evolving, unfortunately. But we should be able to get most of the important information just by looking at this right here. So let's see. Does any of this add shields? Does not. Nope, this does. Grants 2 plus 2 extra shields. So if you disabled that, that means this guy would start with 6 shields and 0 armor. But I think all of them come with a mantra of control. Let's see if I can find another one. Oh, you don't have 3. You only have 2, but it takes you to 8. I think that's a pretty safe assumption to assume that these guys are going to have 8 shields with their mods. Maybe on the lower difficulties they won't spawn in with that, so I'll probably put that as a 6 in my notes. And starts with 50 HP. None of this is boosting the HP, so it's pretty comparable to the Medusa in terms of the health and stats. I think the skills are pretty different. This guy has some interactions with the thralls. He can bring them back from the dead, or he can get a little bit of health, some defenses to make it so that this unit is a little bit harder to kill. So say you use this one turn and then it kills a unit and then you resurrect it. That's not a big deal. There's only a cooldown of 2 turns on this. That's massive. You should probably you know, help out these dudes as much as possible so that they can resurrect lots and lots of thralls. Their main attack is repeating 23 damage because of all the mods here. There's plus 20% there, plus 20% there, and that means that this has got a lot of extra base damage, but it still starts off pretty high for a psychic attack at range 9. That's a really, really big range. I think the accuracy is pretty good too. That's probably boosted by one of these. I'm not sure which one. Nope, maybe not. Broken Mind's good, Incendiary is good, Poison is good, Electrified is good. The only bad thing about that is that it's only strength 4. If you're going against Sharkan, it'll be slightly easier to get those to go through. That's a lot of nice things, and I think most of them are coming from, yeah, like the mods and stuff. I don't think it comes with hallucinating or anything else by itself, but you can't really tell when he has mods. And the next attack is this one, 35 damage. Wow, lots and lots of damage. It can cause people to panic. This one, no, nothing about panic or anything in there. It starts on cooldown, but you can use it every 2 turns. Yeah, if you can get your hands on this unit, and I'm not really sure how you would exactly, that would be really, really nice. It says something in here about... Oh no, it doesn't say the thing about the hollow shifting in here. I thought I saw hollow shifting in here earlier, but that's the tier 2s and tier 3 units, I think. So this guy is got a nice defensive mode. I always like those, and I think we're ready to move on to the next thing. Alright, so he's resistant to all forms of damage except for biochemical, so biochemical can be a little bit better against them. I think that's actually true for all of these guys. I think psionic form might just be like on them forever. Do these guys have that? They don't. So that's interesting. That's one of the things I don't know quite as much about. So next we're going to talk about the Naga. Let's see what they have in their skills. Actually, wait, did we go over the prime rank for this guy? It's always worth mentioning. He gets evasive. I think Medusas get extra range or evasive. I'm not too sure. Evasive is one of my favorites because then you can move your unit in closer and it won't take quite as much damage. So this unit here, let's see if any of this modifies their shields or health. Nope, just gives you lots and lots of extra damage. So it looks like they've already gained a little bit of HP from attacking things. This one right here starts off at 35, yep, and 1 armor, 5 shields. That seems like quite a bit for a tier 2 unit without any mods that affect the defensive stats. So this guy's pretty tanky for a tier 2 unit, and it has a very nice strong attack with a range of 9. So this guy can be a bit of a tanky sniper. That's an interesting combination of things. I think all those stats effects are coming from like this and this, but I'm not entirely sure. I haven't been able to play around with that this morning. Enthralled Tendrils will, it's an AoE, deals adjacent damage, does quite a bit. So if people surround you, oh, it targets an enthralled unit. It's not you. It can go around an enthralled unit. So like if this frenzied ran forward, we could use enthralled tendrils to do a lot of damage to the people around it at a range of 7. That seems pretty good. Dark Strength will allow you to give your enthralled a little bit more extra damage, and because he's got some other nice mods that will help him out quite a lot. Lifelike holograms means that when he's hollow shifted, this guy is going to get +2 shields and +10% armor. I wonder if some of that is being applied up here because I'm not entirely sure if this guy is considered hollow shifted, because hollow shifting is when, where is it? This unit tries to take over another one's form, so he can look like another one for tier 1, 2, and 3 units. It's kind of confusing. I want to play around with this more and get a good solid understanding of how that actually is affecting this unit at this point in time. This guy gets Metamorphosis at prime rank. That makes sense. He doesn't get any skills because he just transforms into something new. And the Strix, where are you? No, I had one around here. There's one. This guy is tier 2, but I think he's kind of like the Spawn. He reminds me of the Spawn from the Scyfish, and I'm pretty sure those dudes are tier 1. No, tier 2. I'm wrong. No, the Chrysalis are tier 1. I don't think these guys have Chrysalis. I saw a Chrysalis around here earlier. But I haven't seen a Voidbringer 1. If I search up here for Voidbringer, I didn't see a unit that goes with it. There's all these other ones. But yeah, let's go and take a closer look at this Strix. This guy, he only has 1 shield, 0 armor, and I don't see the hollow shifted stuff in his description, so I guess he doesn't have anything like that that can be applied to him. But he is small target, makes him a little harder to hit. That's always nice. I love that one when you can get that just to make it easier for your people to dodge damage. Now, he only has 35 HP, it isn't very tanky. The range is 7 on this attack and 7 on this attack, which is pretty far away. You do want to keep him far away from any melee units and out of the fight, but I think, you know, with the amount of damage that he does, it's not that bad of an idea to bring him forward to just do a little bit of damage with like maybe your Thralled. You could like make a Thralled explode using this guy and then use the tier 4 unit to resurrect. Or at least the AI can, because I'm not sure if you can even get the tier 4 unit at this point in time. This is a repeating attack, 16 psionic damage. That's with the plus 40%, no, plus 60%. That seems kind of weak, to be honest, compared to some of the other skills that we were just looking at. That's not so great, but I guess it's probably comparable to other tier 2 units. So yeah, you can make them explode, you can do a repeating attack. This guy evolves when he gets max stuff. Let's go over to, what was the last one? The Undine, I believe, is the fourth and last unit that I want to talk about here. He has 45 HP, 0 armor, and 5 shields. Looks like, yeah, he's getting +2 shields from the Mantra of Control. It's interesting. I could have sworn there was more about hollow shifting on more of these units, but it could have just been that one that I was looking at earlier. I got confused about this guy because I don't see anything else about this. Maybe he walked over a thing that gives him like hollow shifting stuff. I actually am not too sure. But yeah, Undine. Let's go back to those guys. Where was one? I know you're around here. It has a nice repeating attack, which does a decent amount of damage. Not a whole lot. He's getting plus 40% damage. So doing 17 is okay. The range is what makes this really, really nice. Having 9 range on this attack means that you can deal lots of damage from far, far away. But he also has other options. He can dominate a unit to mind control them if you're breaking mind on a lot of dudes. This was very, very nice. Just so that you can take an enemy unit, put it on your side, and make the numbers in your favor, turn the tide of battle to give you a numerical advantage. Now this, it heals an enthralled and gets rid of their negative effects. Could be okay, but if you can resurrect, maybe this isn't the best. I'm sure the AI is going to spam this on all kinds of units when it sees that they're damaged, but for me, the fact that you can resurrect enthralled, you can just like, you know, get that mod on units. I think you can just apply this mod on units. It's actually a good question. Can I go over to my guys here and be like, you enthralled? Maybe not actually. I'm sure if I created a template, I could apply it that way, but I don't. It's something I wish I knew more about. You can't spawn them in, at least with the spawner. These guys came in with them, the enthralled thingy, as well as some other really nice mods. I could see this being a good way to save a game if you're losing really, really badly to the AI. You'd be like, well, if I'm going, you're gonna go with me or first. So yeah, that's all of the units. I think we've talked about the mods, which is only enthralled, the operation, the units, and just basically a little bit about how this faction plays. It's definitely one of the ones that is very unique. It's unlike anything else, and I really want to see what changes it goes through over the next few patches, because I think that at this point in time it's kind of broken. There's some things that aren't working with it, but hopefully by next week when they do the death diary and everything, it'll be working a lot better. And then I'm sure they'll actually rework it a little bit once they get other expansions and stuff, because it seems kind of weird at this point, but I like it. I think it's a really fun idea. It sounds like if you use this in a multiplayer game, everybody can win if they take the invasion, so I think you might disable that, because it just gives an unfair advantage to whoever takes it, or everybody's like winning. I don't know. But yeah, that's everything that I had in my notes. I'll see you around, and have a good one.